buy a ticket, find your seat, and attend any college sporting event. 40 years ago, this is what you'd see.
Feeding green underneath.
Men.
1971.
Men playing football.
In the Cotton Bowl Classic.
Men playing basketball.
And turned it into 2 points.
Men playing baseball. Even tennis, swimming, and wrestling. What you'd rarely see? Women.
The only competition we had was in the form of play days and sports days. The emphasis was never on winning. The emphasis then was always on the socializing, always having tea and cookies afterwards.
Before 1972, there were about 248,000 men playing college sports, and only about 30,000 women. An inequality in the classroom, in the workplace, and in the locker room that was accepted nationally for decades.
You know, they say a woman's place is in the home, and I suppose as long as she's in the home, she might as well be in the kitchen.
At the end of the 60s, of the 1960s, things began to change, and women said, we're not doing this anymore.
Demanding the ratification of the Equal Rights Amendment within the coming year.
I thought that female athletes at the college level should have an opportunity to compete.
That opportunity came when Title IX was passed as part of the Education Amendments of 1972.
Welcome to the new wave of feminism. Welcome to each other. Welcome home.
It gave so-called equal opportunities for sports participation in educational institutions.
There were only 2 schools that had women's athletic scholarships when I got ready to go to school, the University of Miami in Florida and Arizona State.
But a scholarship for women in the 70s seemed just as insignificant as the number of women playing.
For volleyball, basketball, softball, we may have had a total budget of $2,000 for 3 sports. So, I mean, it was a struggle year after year after year.
It's funny because a scholarship back then, a full scholarship for women, were tuition and fees. For out-of-state students, it was $580.
Welcome to Scope for today's NCAA Women's Basketball Championship.
Suddenly, seeing girls in basketball uniforms and on the soccer field changed the way they were viewed by their parents, by their friends, by the boys in their classes. Instead of just sitting there watching from the sidelines, suddenly women were out there participating and excelling.
10 years later, the number of women playing doubled.
Now back to the swimmers.
And today, more than 195,000 call themselves college athletes. So as thousands of doors opened, some doors closed too.
It was like someone had just taken away something really important to me.
In 2008, Arizona State University cut 3 men's sports programs. It cut swimming, wrestling, and tennis.
A very short 2-line email that just said, you know, the team's been dropped. So we were just kind of like, just wow.
A booster called me up, said, hey, I got some information. They're going to cut the program. And I was like, what?
Our budget was in the high 40s, low 50s. So I can't remember if we were like 49, 50, 51 million. But what I do remember is that the number to reduce by 3 sports was $1 million annual savings.
She stated, it's nothing personal. It's not about you. It's not why we're dropping it. I said, well, that's good. It's 2 things, money and it's a male sport.
Since 1988, colleges across the country have eliminated 2,700 men's teams, which is about 550,000 male athletes. So buy a ticket, find your seat, and this is what you'll see. Men, women, progress.
Showing the differences in
In Phoenix, Kim Pestalozzi, Cronkite News.